Wagwan Collective, this is Rasta Gal, aka Angelic Empress. Welcome you to my channel. Just want to thank all my loyal and new subscribers that has joined and subscribed to the vibes. Thank you so much for joining the family, jumping on this train we call life and enjoying the ride. Really appreciate you supporting and just being the vibe on my channel and this frequency and the growth. Really appreciate you letting me be a part of your growth as well as you be a part of mine. I just want to also remind everybody to tread lightly on my channel and just in this energy that we're on, okay? I'm an intuitive reader, so I share messages in regards to your higher self. I also like to enlighten and awaken the consciousness and awareness of the collective on this channel. It's all about as well as healing on your personal growth, whatever you call or doing in your own time, in your own lives, whatever that growth may be. It's about elevating and it's about just moving forward. Okay. Also, share dreams and downloads that I receive. Sometimes it be of my energy, sometimes it will be of the collectives that I feel and want to share with you. Sometimes that involves tarot readings. Okay. Using tarot cards to emphasize my message. Today, collective, tonight, whenever you're viewing this, I wanted to share some dreams I received. I received a lot of downloads, but I have to decipher which one I want to share with you. I think this one's a good one to share, and it was due from the video I left maybe 11 to 10 days ago. I'll have it underneath in the description box. It was due to that message when I had this dream. So that was like, what, 2 weeks ago, a week ago? Okay, collective. Also, I was going to say something else. Oh yes, I also provide personal readings. So if you would like any readings from me, that information will be also down below. Oh, just had a little brain fart there. All right, so let me get into it. So from that message I left, I think the title was, you're finding your own voice to share your story. Something like that. Well, I had a dream that night. I saw myself, I'm getting into my channelings. I saw myself like in a restaurant and I was in some type of just an oriental type of attire. I was dressed in some type of garment, and I don't know if I was I don't know if the place was a library, if it was a school, or I was in a restaurant. But I saw myself in my area where I live, but it just felt like the outside was different. And it made it felt like the inside was different too. Like I'm in the city I'm in, but when I looked out, it was something else. Like I was in another country. And I was feeding children food. I'm trying to remember because this was 2 weeks ago. So it could have been of my children or just of other children. And because I used to be a teacher back in my day. But let me get back to the subject. So I saw a child walk out and they looked at me like they knew what they was going to do, but they like pretty much was getting my attention and let me know they was excited to see whoever was outside. Okay. And when the person was coming closer, I said, okay, so this is my ex-family. Here we go. And they was coming towards me. And I was like, I was standing my ground, my feet was planted, and I was firm, and I was just, how you hear that saying, brace for impact. It was like something like that in the energy. And my ex-mother came to me, but before she came to me, the child that saw the figure knew who that was, and they was about to run out without my permission, without, you know, just any adult supervision. They was running from the table to run outside to cater to that energy, okay, of my ex-mother. And I was like, confirmation, I was like, wait, wait, wait. But the person, the child that ran, end up injuring themselves. They ran into something else, either the chair, another table. So I ran to that child and catered to them and let them know that wasn't good to do. You need to get my permission. You can't just get up and run like that. But I really went over there to cater, to make sure the child was okay. And then I sat the child down, went outside, and or it was like a barrier between us. So I don't even remember if I even went outside. I just stood at the window, and my ex-mother was also coming closer, but they were outside the window. And I don't know if I hugged them or greet them. Anyway, so I was like, I went towards them and they came to me and they said, looking. So it was like they were stretching their neck to look, to be nosy, to see who was I catering to, who was the children, just what I was up to, what I was doing. And mind you, it showed my ex-sisters also with her, but they stood behind. So it was like they were a shadow, and they stood behind, like across the street. They didn't come at all near my location where I was, but my ex-mother did. And she was just like, how you doing? How's the family? So I guess that was my family I was with, my children. And she was just like, who's that person? So she was just seeing who was with me and who was new in my life, what was going on, pretty much being nosy. But again, I don't recall me stepping out the place, whether it was from the outside of a restaurant, cafe, library, school. I didn't see myself walking out. I just was standing by either the door or just by the window. And she was talking to me, and I heard her plain and clear through the window or through the door, but I saw her, because it was big windows, so I could see everything. So I may have stepped out. I'm not sure. This dream's very vivid now because it's been 2 weeks since I delivered this message. And I hardly said anything. I just kept it really short and brief. Then I was like, what's going on with my sisters across the street? They was like, they're fine. They're just over there greeting, or just standing over there waiting on me to get back to them. But she was like, one of my sisters was having like some type of party or some type of greeting event, and they was like, my ex-mother said she was sad because she's not getting any feedback, any luck. Or she was saying my sister was sad because she's not getting the attention that I'm getting, something like that, or she's just not getting any attention. And I was like, And all of a sudden, when she said that, a whole bunch of people just appeared out of nowhere, as in like my sister's ex-friends and just other people, and they was gathering around her, like a few people. And then one of her ex-friends that I was associate with, that I looked at, you know what I mean, and looked respectfully too. And her ex-friend was very respectful to me. She came to greet me, and I came over there to greet her. And I said, you know how she looked. She looked nice and everything, and she hasn't changed. She said, you also look nice in your attire. You look nice in the color you're wearing. It's pink. She said, I wish I would have chose pink. And I saw her, my ex-sister's friend that I, looked at respectfully. She was dressed in yellow with a blue belt around her. So the chakras of the heart, solar plexus, and the throat chakra is significant in this message. But everyone was dressed a little bright, except for my sisters. They looked like they were in the shadows. And I don't recall what my ex-mother was wearing. But yes, collective, long story short, from 2 weeks ago, in the energies, I felt like, again, you are my gosh, you are a story waiting to be told. You are a voice waiting to be heard. Okay, if you have gone through family rivalry, sibling rivalry in your past, maybe of your present, and you felt like you've been shunned, you felt like you just haven't been heard, you felt like you haven't been looked at in a supportive way compared to other siblings in your family, or your mother just favored, your siblings over you, you're not alone. And this message is for you, collective. By me having that dream, it reminded me of Cinderella. How, and I was a stepmother. Okay, I wasn't her real mother, but how her stepmother just belittled Cinderella. And she was of royalty. And she valued and favored her children, her rotten apples. Her seeds, her spawns, over you. And this could be also your blood mother that had you. Whether you're the youngest or the oldest, they had you first, had you third, second, whenever they had you. They still favored your siblings over you, and still do to this day, collective. So you may be calling yourself a black sheep. You may be calling yourself a chain breaker, curse breaker. You may be calling yourself a figuring out. That's what you are. An outcast is what you may be calling yourself. Okay? You see my title there, collective? You're not falling for the malarkey. And you're not getting swayed or persuaded in anyone's bullshit anymore. You're not falling for it. You're not being the one to soothe the abusers. You're not being the one to feel bad either. For you standing your ground in the choices you had to make, which was to sacrifice either yourself or sacrifice those that's no longer on your frequency, no longer on the same page as you, no longer supporting you, that is no longer, showing you any respect, any love, not showing you that they care, again, not supporting you. You're no longer having that blindfold over your eyes to see the truth, to see the reality. You're not being no one's stepping stool. You're not being no one's doormat. Again, you're not being no one's punching bag. You're not going to be no one's scapegoat. Okay? I felt like in my dream that those energies that fell back is the energies they know how they was treating you, collective. Those energies, how they was treating me. Confirmation growing up. So they fall back because of the guilt. They fell back because of the reality of what they cause, of why the situation is the way it is. You know what I mean? The distance that represented those shadows and the ex siblings that was representing as those shadows was showing the distance. Okay. I was surprised in my dream that my ex-mother came a little closer, but it was still a barrier. I chose to walk outside wherever I was, which was actually like my protection, to hug somebody else or greet them, because that energy was respectful. It was bright. Okay. I felt my mother's energy was also of a shadow, so she really couldn't come in or come through. So I feel like the ancestors and spirit guides is having some type of protection or barrier spiritually as well as physically in your life. If you're feeling like, why all these years you're feeling like, okay, why am I not getting no type of contact from my ex-family, although I had to remove myself, they may have felt like they're being punished, or you just sacrificed them because you had to. You sacrificed and just left and cut your ties and your ways because you see you're no longer needed, you're no longer wanted. So why be around energies and around people, whether they are platonic or loving connections, whether they are fam, friends, foes, hoes, business, parties, business, friends, co-workers. If you're feeling like you're no longer needed and wanted, why even stay around? Why even linger around? You're going to separate yourself. You're going to eventually leave the environment or that place. You're going to eventually cut ties. If you're feeling you're no longer being celebrated there, you're just being tolerated. And possibly that's how you was feeling all this time, or presently feeling. You're feeling like you're being tolerated, not celebrated, not supported, not respected, not even cared for, cared to even pay any reverence to, as in like calling and checking. Maybe that's how you was, collective. You did that in the past when you felt the distance, the restraint. You was the one that called to check up on everybody to see how they were doing before they did you. And the conversation still felt a little awkward. And then maybe you had other outside relatives calling you more than your ex-family, collective. But after a while, it felt like it was just, I'm cracking my knuckles. You see the picture here? They're like taking notes. They keeping records, keeping receipts. That's what it looks like. Or this angel here is creating something. But this looks like a feathered pen, like they're taking notes. And you possibly, in your mind, in your heart, maybe physically, you have taken or written down how you felt, your emotions, just what you was been, just experiencing. You're recording it. And you're going back to look at it and read it. You're going back to just see how the time went and just what went on in between those times, in between your life, in between your year. Okay, in between the events, in between the experiences, you are keeping record. I feel like also in this picture, archangels, okay, whoever's the recorder, okay, they are keeping record. Whether that's Metatron, whether that's Gabriel, they are keeping record of just how everyone has treated you when you was going through your ups and downs, when you was going through the good, when you was going through the bad, when you was going through the pretty, when you was going through the ugly. They are keeping record of who was really being genuine, who was really being there through it all. Okay? And that's also for you, collective, to see who is real and who is fake, giving you fake love or showing you real authenticity from their heart, genuinely from their heart space, and showing it to you in the physical. And you keep a record and record on who really belongs in your life, who really you're going to allow in your space, in your circle, in your bubble, who you're allowing to call a true friend, a true companion, someone who's really going to be called your family, really be a part of your tribe. You are seeing, okay? And you're not for the malarkey, collective. You're not for the BS on fake love and just fakeness with anybody that comes into your face, that comes into your space, that comes on your journey. I feel you are keeping record, mentally, emotionally, physically keeping record of who to keep close and who to keep from a distance, keep far from you. And you stay far away. You cut out the minions. You cut out who doesn't belong in your life. You're keeping record. And just by me sharing that dream with you was showing you again the distance, and the reason why you're keeping your distance. I felt the energy of the MK Ultra. Okay, you possibly have gone through that, removing yourself out of that. Energies wanted to keep you on a puppet string, moving you like they what is it? They looked at you as being predictable, and maybe you was predictable at that time. They knew what to do to push your buttons, to get under your skin, for you to show them, love, or to show them your support, for them to drain your energy, for making you feel ashamed, making you feel, collective, that you need to pay me back for how you make me feel. The opposing energies were saying to you, you need to pay me back this way from just how I'm feeling. The opposing energies will say to you. But now you're not down for the malarkey. You're not going to be falling for that sobbing, gaslighting energy. What you was receiving from your own blood, from your family. Now that is your ex-family. From your own friends that you grew up with. Now they are your ex-friends. Everybody you have cut off, they are of the ex energy. And now you're unpredictable. They probably, they just can't believe, collective, you've blocked them. They can't believe you're no longer associating yourself with them and their malarkey, with their energy, with their gaslighting energy. You're so unpredictable now. It's possibly intrigued them. Okay, they're not going to tell you confirmation. I don't know if you heard that sound in the background. They're not going to tell you. Well, maybe if you run into them, they will be like, how you been? It's been a long time. Where you been? What you up to? Being nosy. You know what I mean? You're not down and not for the small talk anymore. You're not down to sharing anything, too much of anything with anybody. Because of the distance, because of the lack of support you receive, because of the lack of respect you receive. Your eyes are wide open, collective. Nothing gets past you. And even if your eyes were closed with the veil, you still could see through it. Okay, this message may not pertain to everybody. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But still let my message heal you. I know y'all can relate. Most of y'all. In this situation I'm expressing to you from my dreams and just from life experiences. That energy definitely could have been of a trickster energy, of an entity. Again, because the shadows of my ex-siblings were shadows until they stepped out and showed themselves. My mother was too, until she stepped out and showed herself. Everybody in that dream. The only ones that was real and that I felt was from the children I was around. So you have nosy energy, okay, that are again obsessed, pressed because of you distancing yourself, cutting your ties, cutting yourself away from the arranged group, an occult, or arranged society. Maybe you was in an arranged marriage and you cut yourself out of that. Or you just didn't accept, you know what I mean, that you didn't accept that contract, collective. You're cutting contracts. You're cutting toxic communications from anything and anyone, from anybody. And you're moving on. You're living your life around loving energies, and you're receiving that authentic love back from those that you are surrounding yourself around or want to surround yourself around. By me being in different garments and seeing other characters in my dream that was in different garments, and then within that dream, I just remembered I saw someone walk past in a beautiful garment. It was very oriental, but it was blue. And it had pretty flowers on there, maybe pink, maybe green, maybe yellow. And I was like, man, that blue's beautiful. So again, the throat chakra. I don't remember if I even said anything to that energy or that woman that walked by, but I was just admiring her attire. So this can relate to, again, different races, different cultures. This dream here, this message here, different ethnicities. I was in a different time zone, timelines in that dream again. Again, you're letting your message and your voice flow. If you heard that noise, it was of water flowing through the sink. You're letting your voice be heard and you're letting it flow. From the previous message I mentioned to you, to me having this dream and download. Also, throughout my day, after that dream, someone said to me on my, just errands I was running, I bumped into somebody and they recognized my scar on my right hand. And they said, I also have a scar too, but I don't know if it was on their left or right. And we talked about a little bit of our childhood and just that happening on our younger years. And I said, oh, yeah, I have a scar. It definitely has a story. And I said, it's a beautiful scar. You have earned your scars, collective, your stripes. And your scars and stripes have a story that you're sharing or that you need to share. There's beauty in the scars. There's beauty in the struggles you went through. You're seeing that now. Or maybe you're seeing that at this time, listening to my message. You are finding a beauty in your scars and just what you had to go through, the struggles you had to go through, you had to survive through. Maybe that's what you're going through presently, but you're pushing through. You are thriving through it. You are finding the purpose, the pain and the scars you have battled and gone through. You're finding the purpose within that pain. And now it's time for us to turn it into power. And you are, collective. I feel you are. From the adversity you had to go through. From your family, friends, just whatever you had to go through. The adversity in just many areas in your life. Just things you went through in your personal life. You are finding and turning that into power. You are finding that pain you had to go through is for a purpose. Okay? And now you're standing against all odds. Okay? And you're rising above all odds. Okay? I saw a saying, I think that week, after having that download and just what I experienced, and was talking to somebody about our scars. Okay, I saw a saying and it said that beautiful people is not always nice, but nice people are beautiful. And that really touched something within me. I said, that is so true. People that look beautiful on the outside is not always pretty in their core. They could be very rotten. But people of just any race, any background, okay, when you truly find someone that is nice to you, when you truly find someone that is kind to you, no matter what they look like, and it just shines from outside. You could just feel it radiating on the outside of them. It's their light. It's their true essence. It's their true core. That's what makes you beautiful. Okay? Not just the outside appearance makes you beautiful. It's the inner soul of someone that makes them beautiful. It's the inner core within you that makes you beautiful. If you have a gentle soul. Okay? And that message was so true. That saying was so true. It's facts. I don't know. Again, this is probably late. As in the symbols and things I was seeing skeletons. I was seeing cactuses. Okay. I was also seeing crows. Okay. Scorpions is very ancient insects. So again, this is relating to a lot of ancient bloodlines. Okay, you could have some ancestry that are ancient in your family tree and your bloodline. From seeing the scorpion picture. Again, cactuses are protective. They could be dangerous, but they're very, if you know how to use a cactus, it could be very nourishing to eat with. It could be very nourishing to use as in maybe medicine. But also cactuses, they hold a lot of water. So I don't know, they could be also safe to drink from if you know how to, again, utilize a cactus. But they're very protective energy and a protective plant. They have survived in the desert, collective. So they're strong plants. Okay. I feel like, again, that barrier that was in my dreams, you're being protected with even stronger ancestral energy. Okay. Spirit guides. Angels. You are getting and being even more protected by you standing your ground, standing in your truth, and moving forward with your life. Living your life, collective. You could have been seeing number synchronicities of 10, 10, 11, 11, 2 2s, 3s, 12, 12, 404. Okay, you could be manifesting at this time. Also saw 369, collective. Okay, you could be manifesting, again, just staying away from the rotten apples. You're not part of that tree anymore. I feel like the ancestors, God himself has removed you. You probably have denounced, or the spirit realm have denounced you to be cut away from the toxic family tree, family that you was born and raised from. It wasn't just by your doing, collective. If I felt like this was spirit leading you to do that for a reason, for your higher self, you had to be cut because you're not the same as everybody else. You're from a different cloth. So you had to cut yourself away and just surface energy, surface people, just surface type of thinking, superficial type of thinking, unrealistic type of thinking. People are going to think that way. Oh, she's just bitter. He's just bitter. He's so surface. He's so selfish. He's so mean and wicked. He's the devil. She's the devil. She or he's a witch or a warlock. Because you cut yourself away, people are calling you all kinds of things. People are looking at you in all kinds of ways. But who cares, collective? Possibly projecting. You know, after I cut myself from my family years ago, I was battling some definitely spiritual warfare against their energy, against their projections. It was heavy. I was battling constantly. Okay? Because they were warring against me energetically. It was heavy. And possibly that's what you had gone through because of the disconnect and the distance you had to put between you and that energy frequency against that old timeline, the old period in your life, time in your life. You know what I mean? The old life. You had to cut it off. I burnt cords the other day by accident. But by me thinking about it, I was like, okay, cords are being burnt. The spirit realms is energetically, spiritually, metaphorically, is burning the cords, breaking the chains from energies that still of the past or of the present wants to try to project, wants to try to connect, wants to try to reattach. It is being burnt. Communication has been burnt. The energy and how you felt for the people of your past or present you have cut yourself from is being burnt. It's a bridge that's been burnt that can no longer be, I feel, it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do if you want to rebuild. But sometimes you have to walk away and light your paths. I feel like the ancestors and spirit guides are still lighting your path on the bridges you burnt. Okay? Lighten your way moving forward. Because if you was to go back, rebuilding for other, and trying to reattach or trying to reconnect, it will leave you stagnant. It will leave you even in a deeper depression or energy, trying to rebuild something that's been burnt spiritually as well as physically, collective. My gosh, all the trauma and tribulations that you had to go through. Only the bridges you burnt and you pray will still light your way. That song, Miguel, has just came to me. I'll have that song down below. Along with J. Cole, Beauty in Your Struggles. There's beauty in the struggles, but also ugliness in success. That is so true. But it's how you look at those struggles. It's how you look at success. It's how you look at your life overall. Collective. My gosh. Whew, that was my message. Don't fall back or go back to the malarkey. Enjoy the beauty. Look at the beauty in your life through your struggles, okay? Through your battle scars you accumulated or have. It's beauty. It's a story that you have to share. It's your story that you're keeping close to yourself or to your heart until you're ready to express, till you're ready to write about, till you're ready to share. And I feel like you're going to be given the credit where credit's due from your ancestors, spirit guides, the higher realms. If the past people, present people, just anybody, if they don't give you the credit, you're given the credit spiritually, collective. And that's more important than anything. My gosh. That was my dreams and downloads to share with you, collective. That was my message. If you have stuck around and can relate, give me thumbs up, okay? And share this message with others. I wanted to quickly just give a short tarot message, okay? For you to see ancestors and spirit guides on my shorts. Wow. Before I even, yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep that. That fell out. Any other message, like a whole bunch just fell out my hands. Any other message in regards to my dreams? Okay. Okay, that flipped over. Okay. I don't know. Pisces stood out to me. Okay. Is that all the messages from my Life of a Healer? You are a healing collective. Okay. If you're not presently, you will. Okay. From all the malarkey you had to go through. And you're not for it anymore. This angel's looking like she's not playing no games. This angel is not playing. They're keeping record and score. They got receipts. Collective. You got receipts. You're probably this gentle soul. Again, that has went through a lot. A lot. Okay. So, the cards that came out. Okay. Any other messages? Wow. The cards that came out. Remember I said Pisces, that just stood out to me. So yeah, these were your 12th house enemies. The ones you had to cut out was possibly your enemies. Yeah, they just wanted to simp off of you. It's showing the 8th house. And the 8th house usually talks about shared resources of financial ownership, partnerships. Okay? This could involve partnerships that you were romantically involved in. Remember I talked about arranged marriages? Marriages you was arranged to marry that you was in, you have separated from. This could have been due to also them taking advantage of your sexual frequency, energy, body, using that, to gaslight you, to manipulate you emotionally. Okay, a lot of resentment in that department in the 8th house. You have a lot of people resenting you because you have separated yourself from the malarkey. You're focusing on yourself. Yeah, you took yourself from being programmed. This happens from a child. I talked about children in my download. And it affects your outer manners, health, and issues. My gosh, collective, you have taken yourself out of that scenario, out of that picture, and you're focusing on yourself now. You're focusing on your image. You're focusing on changing up yourself, maybe your wardrobe. You're changing up your physical appearance. You're working on your health, talents, and career and lifestyle. You had to separate yourself from that malarkey, from the past events, or just everything you had to go through. You had to cut yourself off to really focus on your first house, on yourself. Possibly Aries was attacking, if you had Aries in your family, friends, whatever connection and group you was involved in or you was raised in or around in, could have been an Aries. Okay, someone was attacking that house. Pisces or Scorpios could have been attacking that house. They also could have been a part of the malarkey group, occult coven, of the society. Or you have this in your chart. Sagittarius could have been also attacking. Okay, you wanted to focus on expansion of your mind, body, spirit, and soul, tapping into just your spiritual self, your personal self, your personal growth. You possibly are focusing on getting educated in a subject or just being more educated of the world, okay, in your own way, okay, with philosophy, okay. Also through travel. You may be traveling at this present time, or that's in the horizons of you traveling, collective. A Cancer could have been part of the group, but of the malarkey group that is projecting. You're focusing on yourself again in your home and family, fatherhood, motherhood. You're focusing on yourself. These energies were possibly trying to attack or be nosy or invade in that area. Wanting to be nosy. Remember I said the energy wanted to be nosy in my dream. Or you could have Cancer in your chart. Again, the signs that came out. Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yes, things just got real. Things just got real is what came out. My gosh, collective. Things just got real. You know why? Because you have the galactic federal councils coming out on your behalf. A lot of supernatural things may have occurred during that period of time you left. From that time you left, a lot of supernatural things occurred with those parties you cut from. Okay? And you've been having, again, a lot of higher realms and higher frequency and energies helping you from all celestial realms, because confirmation, because they wanted to keep you as a blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice came out here. They wanted to sacrifice you, but instead you sacrificed them. And that's why things just got real. That's why they're mad, because you cut yourself off from them. Not to punish them. You was punishing yourself the more You stayed around that type of frequency, that type of environment, those type of people, and the energies that they give, the lack of respect and support they give. You were doing more damage or harm to yourself than what they were doing to you. And if you would have stuck around, yeah, you would have been sacrificed, but you didn't stay around. You didn't stay around. Again, this could have been a connection you was physically involved with, but you cut that off too. You cut yourself off from these girl boys' toys. You said thank you next. Okay? My gosh. If you, whatever you call yourself from that, from a spiritual standpoint, collective, if you're calling yourself an angel, you're calling yourself a messenger, just whatever you're calling yourself, a chosen one, a black sheep, a healer, just whatever, a high priest, a priestess. Confirmation. Okay, this is true. Whatever you're calling yourself, collective, is what you are, because you believe in it. Okay, I could be speaking to a high priestess or priest. Again, they wanted you to be the black sheep of the flock, of the family, that they can sacrifice, that they can slaughter, that again they can use you as a scapegoat. I don't think so. You are filtering out the BS, and you need to stay hydrated. Okay, Sean, a water filter, water jug. You're filtering out the BS. This is what this picture is representing of this angel. She's looking like, or he's looking like, they're filtering. Again, they're taking notes and receipts. They have receipts. They could be going to a fake reptilian tarot reader. That's poisonous. That is rotten. They want to do the hocus pocus on your energy and in your energy aura field. Whatever they're doing to call your energy in, whatever they're doing to tap into your energy and frequency. Again, they could be using a false reptilian tarot reader. That is snaky. That is abusing divination. Wasn't given credit. Okay? Wasn't given credit to do even tarot readings or even any kind of divination. They're using the gift that they're abusing to spy on others. To spy on me, to spy on you, collective. But again, they're going to lose their gift. You are a high priest or priestess in your north node. You could be of an Atlantis bloodline. Again, you are beautiful within. You are beautiful. If you're beautiful within, you're beautiful without. And it doesn't matter what you look like. Your beauty shines regardless of your outside appearance. Your beauty is going to shine brighter and even more. And it's going to you're going to see just the beauty in your soul from your core because of your insides. How you are on the inside. These energies, these past people you cut yourself from, again, they looked at the outer appearance, and they still are. That's why they're ugly to the core and bitter and rotten. And they will always be seen that way in your eyes, collective. You are a phoenix rising from the ashes. Yes. My gosh. Yes, you are. You've been through a lot of events, a lot of shit, collective. Whatever you're going through, you're getting things from the muck, from the mud. You're starting from the mud with whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing. You're starting your life over, and it's blooming or will bloom beautifully. Yes. Whatever anybody else has done to reach their success, reach their level, okay, they did it the predictable way. You're doing it in an unpredictable way. Okay, you're doing things in a practical way. And it's going to blow the tops off of everybody that lacked supporting you and showing you the love and respect where credit was due to give to, it's going to blow their heads off. My gosh, collective. Continue to protect yourself. Okay, these energies, again, are mad because of the protection you're receiving, even heavier and more compared to the protection they have. Okay, and again, the things they're doing to abuse divination, to abuse your rights, your energy, your frequency and freedom, to abuse, tapping into your dreams in the astral realms or planes. They're abusing your privacy and boundaries. Again, I feel like your ancestors and spirit guides is putting more of a barrier between those energies and of those past or present energies and people. Yes, they were playing they were playing checkers with you. The ancestors is helping you continuously move smartly in your energy, in your frequency, on a spiritual as well as the physical realms. They're teaching you how to move wisely. From a higher perspective. Yes, you will fly away and leave yesterday behind. That's what you did. You are evolving. You're going through some transformation. It's showing a butterfly. And it's showing flowers blooming from the butterfly as well. So you're growing beautiful flowers. You're growing a beautiful energy. Okay. From the seeds that were planted. It says here, blessings upon you. So it's showing seeds. Confirmation is showing seeds being thrown down from the heavens. Maybe you're planting or growing or want to grow some plants, but seeds are coming down spiritually into your soil. Okay, into what you're creating, what you're doing, who you're becoming, along with water, spiritually. Okay, and blessings upon you is coming. Yes, you're creating a new beginnings. You have infinite potential, collective. You possibly are going through a spiritual awakening. It's showing here, again, a lotus flower. Beautiful. All things are working together for your good. Okay, on my behalf, on your behalf, collective, just remember that what you have gone through, again, is working together for your good. Everything that you've been through was practice. Everything you went through and experienced was practice. It has wisened you up, has made you stronger. It has made you a conqueror. My gosh, get ready for your blessings. Yes. It's showing money, money, money. Possibly your left hand, right hand's been itching, collective. Maybe you're finding money in unfamiliar places. My gosh, that is telling you ancestors and spirit guides is rewarding you little by little. And anything you receive, even to a penny on the ground you find, give thanks, collective. Those are ancestors dropping dimes, dropping jewels, dropping little blessings for you to receive bigger blessings moving forward. My gosh, it's showing here 404. You are protected. Your blessings are protected. My gosh, your energy and frequencies is protected of other energies that were projecting on you. You are receiving sponsors, recognitions, and contracts. You have or you will be, collective. And that is a blessing. Get ready, get ready, get ready, collective. Let me quickly go ahead and, my gosh, see what messages come out from my Rasta Gal famous lines, YouTube lines. I've been saying on my channel since I started. Any messages from my deck, a lot has came out. Whoa. Yes, join this train we call life. Everyone is on a different, just journey, okay? So it's going to be your own vibe, your own train, your own energy you're going through. But enjoy the ride is what I'm saying. Yeah, they can't compete where they can't compare. Okay? You can't compete with nobody where you don't compare. So the same goes. Wow, my throat got scratchy because I'm speaking truth. That goes for the other energies as well. They can't compete where they don't compare. Yeah, wow, they're spiritually dehydrated. I just talked about my throat. I am spilling the mother effing chopstick tea. Yes, I am. Whoa, collective. They don't want you to reveal what they're doing in the dark because you are the light. Energies want to be ducking and fucking. This could have been energies, again, you were entertaining. And they're saying to you, are you not entertained? Because you have left their duck ass because of their fucking around with you. These energies want to be sprung, or wanted you to be sprung on the demon. Yeah, on the demon D. Now they're demesmerized. This could relate to a female stuck on the demon D and now she's dememorized. Or this is a male. Okay, it can go vice versa. But they wanted you to be sprung on them. You're not falling and being sprung on no one's demon malarkeys. Collective. You are returning. I'm just pulling from the top. Yes. You are returning that energy back to the resource and senders it came from. You're not falling for that malarkey anymore. Okay. Now they want to be sprung on your persuasion. You're not persuading nobody anymore. Okay. And you're not being persuaded. Okay. There is one card that came out, and I'll save that for last. Okay. Whoa, collective. Let me go ahead and do a angel therapy right quick. Well, the card that came out that I was going to share for last, it said subscribe to the vibes. Subscribe to my vibes. You possibly could be using crystals to cleanse your energy. It says the energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation in your world. Yes, so if you are finding crystals you're attracting, speaking to you, that's calling out to you by you just looking at it, maybe you feel any energies, yeah, definitely get those crystals to help you. Okay, could be colors of blue, purple crystals you're looking into. Helps you with your throat and crown chakra. Any other messages? Other cards that came out is saying you are profoundly clairvoyant. It's showing, it looks like a mermaid and a crystal ball. Two mermaids. So you are alluring, collective. Again, I pulled out earlier that you could be of an Atlantis or Atlantean bloodline. You could come from that. Crown chakra came out. Beautiful card here. I talked about the crown chakra. Wow, it says pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent to answer to your prayers. That clairvoyant one says trust in what you see in your mind's eye. Wow, the third eye. As well as with your physical sight. For your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. Visualize confirmation. Visualize success. It's showing an angel eating from an apple tree. Wow, we talked about trees and apples. That's crazy. See yourself doing well in a situation and have faith in a positive outcome. It was a positive outcome, hopefully, collective, for you by separating from those that's no longer serving you. Now you're having a positive outcome, hopefully. It says here that you are an indigo child. It said the person you're inquiring about is a indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. That is you, collective. Wow. Wow, I can relate. That is you. And again, my card that came out to end this message, it was saying subscribe to the vibes. If you have stuck around this long to listen to the tarot bonus, thank you so much for sticking around. Definitely like, subscribe, and share this message to those that needs to hear it. I hope this message has enlightened you as well. Collective, definitely, again, check the description box below of my services. If you would like a personal reading, hit the bottom information below by email me so you can receive confirmation back on when you would like this reading, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then again, listen to the attached other messages that can relate to my message here, as well as any music downloads, channeling songs I receive. Check that information down below as well. Well, thank you so much for sticking around. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more messages. This is Rasta Gal, aka Angelic Empress. Take care, and we'll connect soon. Peace.